menciona es que los seres extraterrestres en realidad son seres extradimensionales, es decir, que vienen de otras dimensiones, y que estos seres se han infiltrado en muchos aspectos de la organización militar, especialmente en Área 51. Pero lo más impactante y aterrador que menciona este hombre al teléfono es que planean que los principales centros de población humana sean aniquilados, para que así, los pocos que queden sean fácilmente controlables. Algo que, como vemos en la actualidad, lo están logrando perfectamente. Con los chemtrails, las guerras, los alimentos transgénicos, las vacunas, las epidemias, etc. Ahora los dejamos con el audio original y la traducción, y los invito a formular sus propias conclusiones.
They'll triangulate on this position really soon. Aliens are they're extra-dimensional beings that earlier precursor of the space program I started getting...
This ascension thing, we've got the collapsing of all the dimensions because of the fractal nature of this reality. And I would really love to explain to people who are not familiar with my work, others who are familiar will know this, is the remembrance of how we built the galaxy. Would you like me to go through that with you?
Please do.
Because I feel that this is really key, this is critical. And I'm looking forward to the day where I can work with somebody who's like a movie producer, or somebody who because if we can create something, even if we present it as a fictional story, the actual remembrance, the triggering that this provides in people is colossal. Because what I'm sharing here, it's not just the forgotten knowledge, it's been the forbidden knowledge. Like, this is not allowed to be known. And you'd think through all the ET interactions that people have had, think of how many abductions, think of how many ET interactions that have taken place, think of all the so-called channelings that have been happening for how many years on this planet. Yet, this body of knowledge has been left out, which is once the understanding of the way this reality has been created, then the purpose is understood, then we understand where we've come from, then we understand who we are and what we're doing here. And these are the primordial questions of life. The absolute primordial questions of life. It's what we've wanted to know for how long? Eons of time. Now, I don't profess to know everything. Absolutely, I don't. But there are some things I do know through my direct experiences and through the relationship I'm having with my humanity, with my planetary mother, with the sun, with the galaxy, with the universal creator, and with my infinite nature. So there was a long time ago, because once we understand this as well, all the pieces of the puzzle will just fall into place. It explains so much, Alfred. It explains why there is these groups that have that kind of interest and why they're imposing their agendas on Earth. Why is that group here? You know, this is we're getting into not only the exopolitical arena, we're getting into the cosmopolitical arena. As to why you have these different groups, different empires with different interests, and why are they coming here and implementing their agendas the way they are? So once we have the background knowledge of the structure of how things are, why was this galaxy created, who created it, why was this solar system created, who created the solar system, why was this planet created, who created it, and why, and you know, what's it all about? What's the intention behind that creation? Because every time something is created and manifested in this universe, we enter into what's called natural law, law spelled L-O-R-E, and that is, to me, the cohesive process of co-created agreements between beings and the universal creator and the prime creators of all the realities that we're entering into. And it's a massive co-creative process that takes place. There is nothing in this universe that is outside these co-created agreements. Nothing. Nothing exists in this universe outside of that. Everything that is created is within the parameters of co-created agreements on a soul level. Everything. So once we understand that as well, Alfred, then we've got to step out of victimhood, that victim mentality, and that stops us from playing the blame game. And we've got to own everything and take responsibility for it. So see that the whole environment changes. The emotional environment changes, the mental environment changes internally. Because now we're functioning from a place of being a creator, which is what we are, each and every one of us. We are creators. So we're not victims of circumstances, yeah? And everything that we experience in life is because we chose it from another level. So sometimes our ego constructs within a given reality doesn't have the full knowledge of the bigger reason why it is there. You know, but once we can understand that there is a bigger reason why we're here, that we can somewhat surrender to that. And it's not about surrendering to something outside of yourself. It's surrendering to a greater aspect of your own being, which that greater aspect then is in unity with everyone and everything else going on. So back to how the galaxy was created, was there was a call that went out, a vibrational call, because through eons of time there was so much activity that went on in the grand cosmic arena. We got to the point where all possibilities and outcomes were finally exhausted. And there wasn't really much anything new going on. They were just slight varying expressions of everything that had come before and been done before. And what was new, though, was kind of like a new group was rising into power that wanted to seek dominance over everyone and everything in the grand cosmic arena, in all its dimensional level. And the grand cosmic arena, too, within itself, is a paradigm of reality within this universe. And the foundational expression of that is an expression of the universal creator itself, but is a alter ego of another aspect of the universal creator. Does that make sense to you? So we have this area in the universe where everything is in complete unity and harmony. And then we have this massive domain in the universe where things are allowed to, so still managed, to run free to a degree, yeah? It's still managed though, but there's a lot of do what you will and let's see what happens sort of attitude by the creator, because it's about adventure, right? It's about the spirit of adventure in life. That's one thing. When I had my experience in 2003 and I reintegrated with my soul and realized that, and that part of me, the soul that I speak of, is beyond spirit and beyond consciousness. So I just want to get the languaging that I'm using is slightly different to what other people use, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, because soul, to me, soul is, I'm whole. It's a vibrational field of energy that is unified, sanctified, and divine, and untouchable and uncorruptible. Untouchable by anything of ill intention. It's just not possible. Spirit is a sharper energy that is a projection from soul into the creative process in the universe. And consciousness is of a vibrational field, it's mind energy. So on this level of reality, we have what we call our heart and our minds, yeah? And this translates to soul, this translates to consciousness, cosmically speaking. So consciousness is mind energy, but it's cosmic mind energy. That's why it seems so fantastic when we connect to it. And that's why it permeates through all realities, because mind energy is its source is intention, and it is through intention into the mind field, and the mind field is the interface from intention to the actual creative process in the universe. So spirit and consciousness to me are projections from soul into the universe, and soul to me is the oversoul, is it's hierarchically speaking, it's the highest aspect of me expressing itself in this universe, and it's the part of me that's completely one and unified with the creator of this universe. Now, both the creator and me exist beyond its universal expression, yeah, into the infinite nature of life. And I know I've gone off on a big tangent, but it seems to be the flow of energy. So we'll go into the infinite nature of life. So in the infinite nature of life, there is no one anything. There's no totality. It's open-ended. So I've never been created, which was the statement I had to make when I was taken to the Vatican. I had it out with 4 senior officials in the Vatican in regards to their God, because they're monitoring me and everything I do. So I get picked up in a UFO craft. They've got their own fleet. And I get taken there in a meeting, and we're in a small little, theatre room. It was quite dim, not too much light in there, funny enough. And there was 2 that were dressed in robes, so they looked like cardinals, and then there was 2 that were in suits, senior officials. Because you have the public pope, then you have the black pope, and then you have another layer of control in the Vatican behind that. And that third layer of control is the one that interfaces with interdimensional beings and extraterrestrial life. Okay, so that's the hierarchical structure in that system. So they took me there because they were really concerned with what it is I'm saying, because I'm actually exposing their God for what it truly is. Right, so they wanted to feel me out on a personal level, get closer to me, and understand where I'm coming from. So it got quite passionate. I won't say heated, but pretty intense at one stage. And you know, I actually, because they accused me.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Was this sort of in the physical or in the astral, in the mind, or?
Yeah, no, it was in the physical. Yeah, I was physically taken there. Yeah. And we got to the point where they accused me of wanting to be a god because I was saying I'm infinite, and I know I've an incredible range of skill sets that I'm bringing into this reality and what we're capable of as creative beings. And then they accused me of wanting to be a god. I said, I don't want to be a god. I said, I've already been a god. I know what it means to be a god. I've been one. In my journey through this universe, I've been what we label a god. Yeah. And in truth, so have you, Alfred. And so is pretty much everybody who's listening to this. If you are on that level of awareness and you're achieving what is really known as completion through this grand cosmic arena, which is what this earth at this point in time is about, then yeah, you've been one. Because if you haven't, then you haven't walked those shoes, and you don't understand that expression of life, and that still awaits you in your journey through this universe. If you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So, because I did say before, you know, there are those of us who have been in this universe for a really long time, and we're pretty done. We've exhausted all possibilities and outcomes, all expressions of light, and it's time to exit the cosmic arena. It's like a graduation sort of process, but for me, I call it completion. That's what it feels like. And there's so many of us that are tired. We're spiritually tired. We know it. You know, this isn't just George on some weird sort of fantasy.